I want to say thank you for you guys for being here. I really appreciate you being here. It's great that you're here. We also just want to let you guys know that when people don't show up, we do worry. We want to know where you're at. And we want to.
What struck me about this program is this is a group of probably the most difficult students that a campus could have, all placed in one classroom. There's not very many people who would even tackle that, but to get them to a process where they are becoming more responsible for their own learning will only happen after they have developed some other things like self-esteem and trust.
Can we pass out the binders?
And they have to be able to see that there's value in what they're doing. They want to learn. And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions we have about these students is that they don't care about their learning, that they don't care about their grades. They really, really do care. They just don't believe it's possible.
So you're going to use the writings that you've been doing to help develop this story. This story is going to be all about you.
These are kids who are generally troubled, who are not successful in the classroom, and for many have experienced total defeat because teachers have pretty much given up on them. When they come into a project-based learning environment, they get the opportunity to experience authentic adult relationships, trusting relationships. I think that for many of them, their success is really going to be based on whether or not they have developed caring relationships with adults.
So you got this thing where you don't want to go back home. I mean, you do want to go back home, right? Mm-hmm. But you want to stay away from the violence. So, assuming you went back, how would you do that? How would you be home and then stay away from the violence?
I don't know.
When they begin to believe that there are adults in their world that they can rely on and depend on, that's transforming. All of a sudden you see a child go from not believing they can be anything but trouble in this world to thinking, hey, maybe I actually do have a place where I can be productive and I can make a difference.
The adults have created a place where kids are safe to say things that they wouldn't say in a traditional classroom, perhaps not even in their own home. They said them respectfully, and they learned that it's okay.
Not to be rude and all, but like, how is this gonna help us with school?
That piece speaks to me of the primal importance of relationships as the fundamental basis of learning. You cannot learn unless you have a positive relationship. And the adults in that room are doing it in a variety of ways.
Already complete sentences, then you just copying it. Yeah.
I think what struck me the most was these are students who probably don't often write much more than what they do in graffiti paint.
And this needs to be a paragraph.
And yet here they are writing full paragraphs on a page and reflecting about themselves and reflecting about their future. Probably not something they've done a whole lot of.
They're not even aware of learning skills, and that's part of the beauty of that project as well, is they're learning a 21st century skill of technical literacy. They're going to learn how to do digital storytelling using software and hardware, but they don't think of that as learning. They're learning how to write a narrative, which is an English language arts skill, because they have to have a narrative sequence to the storyboard, but they don't know they're learning how to write a narrative arc. They're learning how to write narrative prose when they write their essays that are a piece of this. And they don't think of that as learning, or they're learning an English language arts skill that's tested in every state in the country. So there's a great deal of learning that is occurring, and they're not even aware of it because it's embedded in something that's relevant to their lives. And ideally, that's the way all projects should be.
Position, hey, no, man.
There are children here who would not have a chance, quite honestly, outside of this program, whose lives would more than likely end up in prison or on the streets, and costing us a whole lot more money than what that program costs us. But more than that, it's about changing the lives of young people who many people have given up on.
Yeah, I like that.
So just seeing even one of those lives turned around and changed, we never know where they're going to end up. And we oftentimes don't even know if we made a difference But those are the students. Those students are going to be the ones who 20 years from now you're going to bump into them at a store, and they're going to say, "Do you remember me?" and tell you what a difference you made in just a short amount of time, a semester, a year. So it's more value than any money can be placed on. One life at a time we can change.